Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutations to the 144,000 and the 1/3 elect of the nation of Israel. I'm your brother Kabash from the GMS Atlanta camp, and I'm here with the hope for to find a lesson through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. And in this lesson, I'm going to get into this video. Going into you Jakes, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This video is to you, just like many a times in the scriptures, the Lord sent a messenger or a judge out to judge Israel, like the book of Judges. And the Lord is warning you, Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians that go to these church sermons, whether Wednesday, Saturday, or Sunday. The Lord is not pleased with that. And also, this particular song right here had me to think about the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, about after, you done everything in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, then you just stand. But Jake in the church, they don't even know what that means. Jake just think that, going to church and singing is the only thing that the Lord requires. And it's not true. The Lord said, with all thy getting, get understanding. Proverbs chapter 4 goes into that. And then also, too, Jake is not always in the midst. Like, I love to go to this point of my elder here in GMS Atlanta camp, Elder Atazawam. He did a lesson on understanding and the breakdown of it, and he filtered the scriptures with it. And he said understanding doesn't mean what you think it means. Some people say overstand or understand. I'm just adding this to the lesson, but the main point I want to hit what he said was understand means being in the midst. You got to be in the midst of Yahweh Bashem Shai, who you inwardly calls God and Jesus Christ. You can't be talking about you love the Lord and you're not always in the midst of the Lord, just like the breath in your body is always in the midst of you. Your body can't live by itself without the Lord putting that spirit within you, which you think is air, but it's not. It's really the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Shai. These are just the elements that the Lord created to form us and to have us to operate within this world with. Because the Lord calls these fleshly bodies that we have mortal clothing. Because the Lord is about to bless us with the immortal clothing. Like it says in, we have put on the immortal clothing by taking His word. See, if you understand this doctrine, then you will be in the midst. A lot of you just go to church and thinking that you're saved just at one time because the pastor dumped you in some dirty ass baptism water. You do that little fake ass Passover. You drink the little prune juice and eat a damn Ritz cracker. A lot of you Jace in these churches don't know what the hell is going on. And guess what? Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, my people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. You Jakes don't understand the Most High. Matter of fact, let me get this in Proverbs chapter Proverbs chapter 4 verse 17. The main point within this lesson is the Lord allowing you Jakes to listen. If you ever come across this video or lesson and you're a new beginner of the Lord, or not even a beginner in the Lord, remember, the Heavenly Father is not some deity we just made up. This book is not man-made. Yeah, it's written by man because the Lord told man to write it. It's to us anyway. Then the Lord got power. It's just showing another form of His power to show you that He exists. But this truth is not meant for everybody. You know, that's why a lot of you Israelites are dying, and a lot of you Jakes with no understanding in these churches, the Lord allow you to go there. A lot of you Jakes been getting murdered in these churches, these baptism, Jehovah Witness churches. A lot of you Israelites been, in adulterous affairs, into other lifestyles. Like this guy on YouTube, he's a YouTuber, and I forgot his name, but he got this story time uh, a page where you get into stories, and he's talking about this chick that claimed to be a Christian, and then this church that he used to go to, and he got so involved in the church. It goes to show you that the real understanding is you doing the ministry of the Lord, not the ministry of these churches, man, in the world. The guy, the Jake said, he was, helping out the pastor. The pastor set him up with a female, and they was doing, office work and whatnot. She had her own office, and they would have little projects together concerning what the pastor delegated them to. And he said, eventually she started to get feelings for him, and they met up and they did their thing. And fast forward, and she started telling him, secrets about the church and secrets about, the lifestyle she was in. She was running a, little club joint. It was a little swingers club, something to that nature. And, it was in the back of a laundry mat. It was all type of, manifold information that goes on behind the scenes concerning that church. And it goes in on a lot of churches, because I bet that ain't even a mega church, like, a mega super church like New Birth. This nigga, Bishop Bedalone, had Bush up in that mug. And I think another president too, but I know Bush was there. And, the church was acting like the Lord came back. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show you that Jeremiah, the book I just came from, Jeremiah goes into how Jake set up the table for their troop. Jake was all, dressed up. Some of the people had on the same thing. Everybody was in this orderly fashion and shit. You know what I'm saying? Jake wasn't in that good old religion type spirit. When that nigga was there, it was like they morphed and it was a solemn assembly. These niggas brought out the Torah. These niggas was going off, man. They had the Torah, how one would have, at the Passover, or the priest would hold it and have the Torah, I think, on his left side. And they going around, and then, finally when he comes, he get anointed. This nigga get inaugurated as a man of the Lord, this nigga Bush. That's why the Lord killed that nigga, man. And mocked him too, saying that he was living a double life outside of his wife. That goes to show you that the Heavenly Father is terrible, man. And if you don't turn back to the Lord, he gonna do you worse than Bishop Bedalone. But I want to play that video though to go show you how dead Jake is in these churches, man. A lot of you Jakes are going to see the Lord in church by catastrophe. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Let's look into this word, understanding. Bayana, Salaki, Bayana. bayana, or bayana, understanding, discernment, act, faculty, object, personified, like you, knowledge, meaning, wisdom, bayan, and it says to discern, understand, consider, perceive. You got to be in the midst to perceive, to understand, to know what you're actually into, and that's with everything. To discern, to be discerning, intelligent, discreet, having understanding, to cause, to understand, to teach, instruct. You got to be in the midst of the classroom if you're going to get instructed. Strong's definition: to separate mentally, that is generally understand, attend, consider, be cunning, diligently, direct, discern, eloquent, feel, inform, instruct, have intelligence, know, look well to, mark, perceive, be prudent, regard, can, skillful, teach, think, cause, make, to, get, give, have, understand, understanding, view, deal, wise, wisely, man. Okay, let me look. Okay, this is the etymology online. And right here, understand the verb. Well, it's a verb, which means, verb meaning action. So you have to be in action when you come to serve the Lord. You can't be like stagnant water with no life in it. Mosquitoes and all type of other harmful creatures abide in those type of waters, which those mosquitoes and other um, abominable creatures that inhabit those waters are demons. Mosquitoes suck your blood out and give you viruses. But if you get into this living water, it will help you live forever. Which, that's metaphorically speaking. You got to learn to convey the art of language to comprehend words so that you can know the meaning of forever, what the Lord is talking about concerning to this doctrine. Like, we're going to live immortals and what comes with that. So right here, to comprehend, grasp the idea of, receive from a word or words or from a sign the idea it is intended to convey, to view in a certain way, probably literally stand in the midst of, from under, stand to stand. So stand in the midst of. Remember, Yahushua told John the Revelator to write that Yahushua is the one that's always in the midst of the seven candlesticks, which the seven candlesticks is talking about the seven churches of the elect that who the Lord was dealing with. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can pull that. But first, let me get this in Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 7. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me and sworn by them that are no gods. Yeah, You should see that clip, man. And I probably will play that clip with the nigga Bishop Eddie Long and G. Bush. By them that are no gods. When he allowed that devil up in that church, which the church was off anyway, but it made it even more off, man. It's like the same thing Jake was doing in Greece, sacrificing unto abominable idols of Greece, eating unclean foods. That's what Jake was doing, physically and mentally. Because you know Jake, mentally after receiving that abominable food, from the devil's table, then he went to go eat at Piccadilly and eat that pork. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean that's how it go. Or they probably had something already catered to them. You know, because a lot of Jake over there in that area, they Jake got money. So right here it says, when I had fed them to the full, the Lord gave us the promised land. He gave us kings, princes, armies, navies. He gave us municipalities. He gave us elders, elder city. He gave us a priesthood. We had laws, statutes, commandments, and we had riches that goes with that. We had our own lot of land. We didn't have to owe debt. We had our own monies. We had our own money system. So when King Solomon ruled, man, the whole world bowed down to us. You know how much gold King Solomon received from these kings each year? How much tons of gold? Queen Sheba came. She ain't the only one that gave him gold. They gave him monies in gold annually, yo. But he ruled in peace because we had that law, statutes, commandments. So we was at the full, man. And then after that, what? King Rehoboam, King Solomon's son, he was going off along with King Jeroboam. And the Lord said he would split up the 12 tribes of Israel, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So continuing in verse 7, they then committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in the harlots' houses. Yeah, the harlot houses talking about these churches, man, because we are the temple of the Most High. Look, to commit fornication. Yeah, going into these other philosophies, these other doctrines. Jake just not acting right with the Lord. Jake is not being united with the Lord. That's what the word marry means. It means to be joined unto. So when Jake do these things, they're acting like a hoe. She's no longer the Lord's wife, like it says right here in Jeremiah chapter 3. Now, these are just metaphorically speaking of parabolic talk when the Lord calls Israel his wife. Because remember, the Lord made us holy, so we ain't thinking in these days times like, people read scriptures like this or anything like this, they'll think it's, this alphabet group stuff, but it's really the Lord being parabolic. And then at that time too, our understanding was way higher than our thinking patterns in these modern day times. We're super dumbed down. But a man and his wife, especially if the Lord calls it to where there's no evil, then it's like, the care for that woman is greater. And that's how the Lord used similitudes to break down what Israel means to him. The language that man can understand, basically. Because the Lord can't talk to you like a God yet. but he is though. Because the elect, we're gonna become immortals. So right here in Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 6, the Lord said it's like the Lord said also unto me, in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel have done? She is gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree. Yeah, Jake under that church roof. You know what I'm saying? Jake making strides for these other gods, and particularly in these churches that white Jesus, that Cesare Borgia. But they're not knowing that the Lord looked like them, in particular a so-called Negro. But really all the 12 tribes have some type of resemblance, especially in features pertaining, to the man. And, the women, they all fine, well, used to be fine in Israel, but, you know. So right here it says, and there hath played the harlot. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me, but she returned not. And her treacherous, and this is a king. So you got to put in your mind, this is a king talking about his wife that transgressed against him. Men of today, they don't have no law of women paying back debt and not just, being a lion in your own household. You just outright killing her, not seeing what's in front of you, like understand the times. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of you Jakes wasn't grown right. Well, really, the whole nation of Israel, we wasn't raised up off the law, statutes, commandments. So that's process of elimination of us being lowered in our statue from what the Lord made us to be, and that's really a God. But like in Psalms chapter 82 says, I have said ye are children of the Most High, but ye should die like men. So men of today, they don't know how to, be heads of the family, let alone choose a woman, and actually follow in the ways of the Heavenly Father and how to, get women. You're supposed to get a virgin. You're supposed to get a woman that's already betrothed. But just saying that to the point of Jake losing their minds and just killing, the significant ones who they relationship with, it's happening more, and Jake ain't on the level to be in no king type mind. But yeah, this is really from the Most High. And it says, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, and I had put her away. Yeah, because when they split up the kingdoms, the northern kingdom was going off heavy. They was making other deals with other nations. Israel waxed fat, man. Israel talking about the northern kingdom. And the southern kingdom, they were still banked off King Solomon and King David contribution to the nation of Israel by ruling well. And he messed that up, but they still had the law, they still had the priesthood. That's why all three tribes were considered Jews, because Judah ruled over only Benjamin and Levi, which Levi is the Levitical hood, and they always needed to go to the southern kingdom. That's why King Jeroboam was so wicked, because he stopped the northern kingdom from going down there to the courts of Jerusalem. to the the monarchy that came out of Judah, the king's court, and also the priesthood, because they would have to do right, because that's what the Lord put on the spirit of the southern kingdom to keep his ways. That's why there was so many wars over there during the Greece times, during the Hasmonean, it's like the Maccabeans, Hasmonean dynasty. The Hasmonean dynasty is talking about the Maccabees, Judah, um, Mattathias and his sons, and they was part of the priesthood, and they was fighting against Greece, fighting against wicked niggas that didn't hold the law, statutes, commandments. So, um, yeah, they literally kept the ways of the Lord. That's why the Lord said the tents of Judah will rise first. But you see how the Lord, said that He wrote us a bill of divorce, and it was talking about the Northern Kingdom, of course, because the Syrian Empire, they came and invaded the Southern Kingdom and the Northern Kingdom, but the Lord allowed them to take the Northern Kingdom. They in the Syrian captivity. They took over Samaria. That's why you had the good Samaritan lady that was at the well, claiming that she was of the seed of Jacob and that the well was hers, but the Lord cut her and was like, nah, woman, it's going to be a time the true worshipers will be in these same mountains worshiping the Lord. I mean, I'm not saying it clearly as the scriptures may say, but something to that effect that the Lord mentioned the true worshipers, and He mentioned that um, she was not of the covenant, she was not of the fold, she was not of the chosen people, because He knew the history of that woman. He knew the history of the land. He knew that He was in Rome or the Roman captivity. So right here in just to show you in Jeremiah 3 how we played the harlot. And I'm gonna show this video right quick. I ain't mean to take too long. I may just show it in the what's the name.